Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. How are you doing, guys? Very, very nice to see you. How are things? I'm Nick Dunning. I'm the creator of Total Audition Magician and the author of How to Get Acting Work Quickly. And as we are here, guys, I'd love to invite you to consider subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. Ding! I'm going to do the bell myself. I thought it was cool. How are you doing, guys? Nice to see you. How are you? Is anybody out there? How are you doing today? Good to see you. How are things in COVID land? Are you all okie dokie? So what I want to do today, I want to make sure that we're going to be working. Hey, Indra, good morning. Good morning. Good, nice to see you. So I'm going to talk about 3 more things today that we're going to be doing about how to stand out in your acting auditions. So the first 3 I'm going to give you today are marvelous. The third one is superb and is about visualization. That's going to be really powerful. So stick around for that. That's real cool. Hey, Indra's just woken up a few minutes ago. That sounds excellent. Good, guys. Don't remember, these guys are always, these videos are going to be recorded for you. So they'll be here. So first things first. The first one I want to talk about today is what I call the permission stamp. Now, one of the things I've coached over 2,000 actors now. I've got a lot of one-on-one experience now working with lots of actors over a very long period of time. And what I notice is that some of the things that happen whenever I do, we do a review of what happened with somebody's audition or what happened with somebody's self-tape or something like that, they often feel that they felt a bit worried when they did it, or they felt there was self-doubt going on, or they were lacking some kind of confidence, or maybe they were Sean is a bit late because she was feeding a baby crow. Well, this is what makes the world go around. How fantastic. I hope the baby crow is a little better after that. So giving yourself the way you want to be in the audition. Often when I talk to actors, they say, I want to be abandoned. I want to feel free. I want to feel, good morning, Brian. How are you? Good to see you. I want to feel as if I can be myself. I can release myself completely. And often they feel when they've done the audition, they come back the next day and they go, I didn't quite nail it. I didn't quite give, I wasn't at my best. I didn't do it the best way I could have done. There was something I was missing out on. So this is where you want to start using what I call the permission stamp. Because what happens is inside the brain, you need to give yourself permission to be good at what you're doing. Really, really important to give yourself permission to succeed. So if any of you are in doubt at all as to whether or not you have the permission to do this, I'm going to officially give you permission stamp approval. You now are able to be whatever you choose. You have my approval. You need to give it to yourself as well. Give yourself permission stamp approval to do whatever you want to do. Let's say you want to do something, you're getting ready to go in for the audition and you're feeling a little bit anxious or nervous or whatever. So the permission stamp goes something like this. I give myself permission to succeed. Okay? I give myself permission to shine. I give myself permission to be great. I give myself permission to flow in the audition. Okay? Brian saying as well, have you tried this, Brian? Have you used this? It's so powerful because it gives you at the unconscious level a message of power. Now, often people say, well, when I'm going into an audition, I'm feeling a little bit anxious or I'm feeling a bit nervous, and that's good. We all know this right now. We know that what's happening is what I call preparation energy. You always will have that kind of energy going on. It's like when you get ready to go on stage, you get ready to do that. It's always there. Your brain is gearing up for a performance. I get it before these videos. Just 5 minutes ago, I get this energy coming up and I kind of feel my energy rising and I feel myself getting ready to go. And it's kind of like a preparation energy, and I give myself permission to have a great coaching session like this, right? Whatever you want to do. So if you're feeling a little bit nervous, a bit anxious, if you're feeling a bit worried, if you're feeling a bit stressed, whatever your situation is, what you want to do is to say to yourself, even though I'm feeling nervous, I give myself permission to succeed. Okay? Get the idea? Okay? I give myself permission to succeed. Just before you go in. Even though I'm feeling a little stressed and anxious, I give myself permission to shine. Even though I'm feeling a little bit worried, I give myself permission to shine. Okay? So that's the first one. We call that the permission stamp. And as we're going ahead now, we're going to go moving a little bit more into how we use visualization. But the next one I want to give you is a thing called power positions. Now, power positions is something you can do now. It's something you want to start building into your preparation when you get ready to perform, whether you're on audition or a self-tape. It's really, really, yeah, here's Brian here. Look, gave me this exercise and he got the gig. Excellent. This is what we want to hear. Fantastic news. Round of applause for Brian. Here. In fact, I might even blow the bicycle horn. You get the bicycle horn today, Brian. I mean, that's something else, right? So that's the kind of thing we want to do. Now, when we're talking about power positions, what they are is the thing, you know that thing when you're standing around in the audition, you're outside of the audition room, or you're in the, you're in the street just outside where the casting's going on, and your brain's going, oh, what's going on? I'm getting a bit, preparation energy is coming up, that kind of thing. By the way, call it that, preparation energy. Much better than fear, much better than anxiety. It's just preparation energy. Just call it that, and you'll make a huge change in everything you do. So when you're standing outside in the, in the street outside Louise Kylie's office, or if you're in London, you're in Soho outside whoever's office out there, wherever you're doing it, and LA, wherever you are, in Germany, South Africa, I know a lot of you from all over the place, so wherever it is, whenever you're waiting in the street outside, adopt what I call a power position. Now what these are very sort of prominent positions that you can put your whole body into that will send powerful messages to your unconscious. And one of the ways to look at that, if you imagine a kind of like an archetypal American general, right? You know those guys, and they stand like that, and they go, yeah, right, hi, how you doing? Okay. And they put their hands on their hips, and their feet slightly apart, and their head up, and they feel strong, and they feel powerful, and they feel confident. That's the way they're going to talk to the troops, right? You want to get into that kind of power position. And the reason we want to do this is because it is an archetype, right? The general is an archetype. What it does is it sends a message to your unconscious that you are in charge, that you are powerful, that you are the boss, that you are the director of your destiny. Okay, we know this. There's a huge amount of neuroscientific study now about this. And if you're interested in learning more about that, jump on board one of the TED Talks and just type in power positions. I think they call it power poses, but I prefer positions. It sounds more, it's a power position that you can get into. And what it does is it gives your brain really deep-rooted sense of strength before you go into the audition, or for self-taping, or for anything you like in life, where you want to feel a bit more confident. Really, really powerful thing to do. Something I would suggest is now, given that we have all this time, let's start putting these things into practice, because we're all going to, open up again fairly soon. I was talking to some people at the studios up at Ardmore yesterday, and they're telling us that the whole, for those of you in Ireland, the Valhalla is prepping up. You probably come across Valhalla. Those of you who don't know about it, it's a huge, big, you probably saw Vikings. Valhalla is pretty much Vikings 2, and is a huge, great big production they're going to be bringing in. That's going to be coming up the road in, fairly soon. So they're gearing up now. We know they're actually in preparation. How they're going to work it out, I don't quite know. All the ins and outs we haven't quite figured out, but they're definitely there, and people are working, social distancing, washing hands, and keeping their, and all of that is going on. So that's really good news for us to know. Also, pretty certain the Matt Damon movie's going ahead too. So that's another, you know, cool thing to know. Right. The third thing I want to talk about today. So yes, practice these things. Practice this, because this stuff is coming in. You will be getting more self-tapes now. These things are going to coming in. It's all starting to kick off again. So you want to get involved in this kind of thing. Start getting your brain used to giving yourself permission, and get used to the habit of it. If you're going to go into something that you're not keen on, let's say you're going to go and meet somebody for the first time, because now yesterday we had some friends came around. It's the first time we'd had a kind of like, sitting in the garden, four of us together, and it was kind of wonderful. But it was also this, "Oh, what is this? This is kind of a new experience." So it's a really good idea to give yourself permission stamp for doing that. That's right. Yeah, Frank is doing it. That's right. Frank Mazel, casting Valhalla. Exactly. Thanks, Ronan. So that's the kind of thing that is coming up, guys. So start building these kind of things of giving yourself permission to do whatever it is that you want to do. It will start to train your brain in all ways that will surprise you and delight you, in ways that you're not even aware of yet. Kind of extraordinary. So start doing that, and the power positions. You'll find those really useful, really powerful. The third thing I want to talk about is visualization. Visualization is the key to pretty much anything you want to achieve in life. If there's a goal that you have, if there's a dream that you have, if you have something that's firing you up on the inside right now as you think about it, if there's a particular show you want to be in, if there's a particular skill you want to learn, if there's a particular self-tape you've got coming up, these are the kind of things you want to start visualizing. I've been giving myself, "Hey, honey, how lovely to see you." Honey's coming over from South Africa. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Welcome, welcome. Honey was telling me in an email the other day that South Africa is opening up as well. So that's great. They're starting production again in Johannesburg. That's huge for a lot of Irish actors. A lot of Irish actors go over and work in Cape Town. These kind of studios, big deals. All opening up, guys. Get your skills ready. Really, really, really get yourself fired up, because you're going to need to be on top. And we've all have been through some kind of psychological change. So things are going to be different. You're going to need new skills when we get out into the new world. It's going to be different. So make sure you have new skills that you're able to handle these things. Okay, visualization. So what we're going to do is what I call the BDA process. Before, during, and after. I want you to imagine you have an audition coming up. Okay, and we're going to look at the three phases of this. Okay, you've got the before, the during, and the after of the audition. I want you to notice the after part. That's the part people often forget. So what we're going to do is, there are two processes we do. The first thing we're going to do is what we call the dissociated run through. And what that is, it's real simple. You want to visualize on a screen, on the screen of your mind. And as I describe this to you, you can imagine a real audition or an imagined audition. It doesn't matter. The brain cannot tell the difference between a real and an imagined event. That's incredible news, guys. Okay, so begin to imagine that let's say you get a casting call coming in, you get the sides coming in, you learn your lines, you've got yourself, the performance is all ready, you're ready to go out, you're going to go to an office. We'll just call it a generic office in Soho, okay? So you see yourself getting out, going into Soho, you see yourself walking through, you see yourself on the screen of your mind. Visualize yourself walking on the way you go to the audition. See your body looking great, looking comfortable, looking relaxed, looking confident. See yourself smiling, positive, energetic, ready to give yourself the seal of approval, ready to shine and do well, ready to give yourself the permission stamp to succeed. That's what you want to be doing. So you see yourself walking along, doing well, giving yourself permission to succeed, giving yourself permission to do well. You see everything going well. You see yourself arriving at the agent or the offices or wherever they're doing the self-tape. You ring the bell, you see yourself going in, see yourself on the screen of your mind going in, you're meeting the casting assistant, you're meeting the other actors, you're focusing on your own thing, you see yourself sitting down, you see yourself waiting, comfortably, confident, powerful, ready to go. If you want to, you can adopt the power position, giving yourself the power. You see this happening. You're giving yourself permission. You're watching this happening on the screen of your mind. They call your name. You see yourself going in to the audition. You see it going really, really well. You visualize it going well and smoothly and effortlessly. You see yourself shining on the screen of your mind. You see it there happening now. And as you see that happening, you see yourself finish the performance. You leave the room. You see yourself leaving the office. And what you do, the first thing you do as you leave the office, you let go of the whole experience. You see yourself letting go of the experience. You see yourself focusing on the next step of what it is that you want to do in your life as an actor, to generate more interest, to generate more connection, to generate more success coming your way. Okay, that's the first thing you're doing. That's what we call the dissociated run through. Now we're going to do the associated run through. This is where you step into it. It's as if you do the same thing, you run the entire process again, and you do it again, but this time you step in. It's as if you're in the movie, as if you can see everything with your own eyes. Okay, and this activates the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and every part of you that wants to sort of gear up for success. That's going in the right direction. This is what you want to be doing now. So we're going to do the same thing before, during, and after. Okay, BDA, before, during, and after. So this time you're in the movie, you're inside it, you're looking out through your own eyes, and you see yourself getting up, going out, learning your lines, getting it all together, walking through Soho, walking, striding, going really great. It's all great. You see people around you, everything is buzzing. You feel the energy coming around you as you're walking, you're running, whatever you want to do. That's telling you everything is going great. This is all going well. You're feeling this kind of confidence. You're seeing yourself arriving outside the agent's office. You ring the doorbell, you're going in, you're seeing other people, you're meeting the assistant, you're greeting them, you're saying hello, signing, whatever's going on. And then you kind of find yourself sitting down, you're preparing, you're feeling confident and centered. You feel that you can step into the power position. You give yourself permission to succeed with a permission stamp to succeed. You feel that, they call your name, you go in, you open the door, hello, how you doing? Here I am, I'm going in great, this is really good to see you. And then you take your time, you focus, you do your audition, you finish, whatever it's done, out you go. And as soon as you get outside, you just see yourself letting it go. Let the whole thing go. And then from the inside of your mind, looking out of your own eyes, what you're going to do is just step into the next step that you're moving forward. Okay? Any questions on that? Anyone got any questions on that? And if you don't have them, I'd be really surprised. I'm going to take a miniature coffee break there for a sec. Any questions, guys? Could you feel that as you were going through it? Did you notice the difference between the two? Seeing the screen of your mind and also what it was like when you were inside the experience, when you were looking out through your own eyes. Did you notice the differences there? Let me know in the comments. Did that make sense to you guys? I do this before every gig. I do it before every show. And what happens, it sounds like it's a lot of work, but it's not actually. What you do after a while, you get, once you've learned it, which takes, I don't know, 10 minutes. It's probably something like that. You know, oh, by the way, if you want to, you can join. If you want to join Total Audition Magician, I take you through the whole process. Now, what's that? Your mind keeps telling me, nans, don't be daft. Oh, you can't be daft. Yeah, okay, absolutely. Melding the two processes. Brian, yes, it is. Separate them. They are two separate processes. What they're doing is you're using two parts of the way that your brain receives and understands information. The first part, you're looking at the screen of your mind. You're dissociated. Look this up. Those of you who are in Total Audition Magician, you'll understand it. The dissociation, you're dissociated. You're seeing a screen. You're visualizing. What that does is it prepares the future. It prepares the future. Okay? What you're looking at is what it is that you're going to be doing. You're seeing yourself doing really well in the future. The second process, when you step into it, you're talking to the present. So you get a double go. And what this does is it sends double messages. Indra, notice the difference. Excellent. You really need to make sure. That's a very well done, Indra. Fantastic. The difference is between the two. When you're looking at the screen of your mind, the brain is visualizing the future. And you can literally step back. And the way I teach it in Total Audition Magician, as those of you know, is there's a kind of a whole process that goes with that, which makes it so much easier to understand. But it's like really, really powerful. Okay. Yes, exactly. Sorry, Sean. I thought that's what you meant. Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of thing. So you start visualizing it, you see it happening, and you're giving your brain clues and connections already to this is what you want to be doing coming up. So let's say your audition is on the Friday, for example, and today's Monday. Your audition is on the Friday. That's what you're going to be doing. And remember, we don't call them auditions, right? Whatever you want to call it inside your brain. I'm just using the terminology because people know what I mean when I say that. But you can have your own personal, understanding of that. So let's say it's Monday, you've got your audition on the Friday. First thing you start doing is you visualize on the screen of your mind yourself on the way, preparing, learning the lines, getting into the character, doing the work, doing everything that you need to do. See yourself getting in there. See yourself learning the lines, going through the whole thing. See it going into your body. See it happening on the screen. Watch that. Well, then watch your successful journey, successfully going into the audition, successfully performing, successfully leaving, and successfully doing everything else. Yeah? Excellent. Eileen said, "Wow, was that? That was great. It felt so confident, relaxed." Going in the second part, that's where you get the gold dust. But you must do the first part first, because when you have the two, then you're doubling your chances of success because you're presenting the future and the present. Okay? Now, there's no such thing as the future, as we know. But what we're doing is we're coding the brain. We're tricking the brain to think that there is. So you, in essence, you successfully audition twice every day before you go into the audition. You do that on the Monday. You do it on the Tuesday. You do it on the Wednesday. You do it on the Thursday. You do it on the Friday on the way to your audition. And when you go in, you've successfully won the audition 10 times before you even get there. You think your brain's going to get conditioned? You think your brain is going to go, "Oh, I see, this is what we want to do." And what happens is that when you go in there, boom, it happens. Okay? Now, you go in there, and that will make the difference to what it is you want to do. Power tip. This is a real gem. If you're doing, let's say you've got the Monday, and there's your Friday, okay? Now, I know sometimes it's shorter than that, and sometimes it's longer than that. So this is something you can change. You have to change that depending on the time scale that you have. Let's assume, for now, Monday to Friday. You find out about the audition on the Monday. You go through this double process every day. If you want to do it twice a day, you can. I would. I do it 2, 3 times a day. Absolutely. Once you've done it once, it becomes so simple. If I need to do it now, if I see I've got a self-tape coming up or an audition coming up, I literally sit down and I see it all happening. Really great. See myself going in, it's going great. Coming out, letting it go, done. It's that quick. Okay? It's that quick. It might feel a bit long for you guys because I'm teaching you how to do it. But when you get used to it, it gets really ingrained real quick. Then your brain is kicking off in the right direction. Imagine 10 rehearsals before you go into your performance. How often do you do that? How often do you do that? Ah, Siobhan. Sorry, I'm cutting my dad's hair. That's beautiful. Listen, you wouldn't do mine, would you? Is there any way you can... Why do you think I'm wearing a hat? Now I know what people mean when they say a bad hair day. Absolutely. Okay. I hope your dad's hair is gorgeous. Right? So that's the kind of thing. The idea being, don't worry, Siobhan, remember this will be recorded. Those of you who want to see this is the third part now of these 3 auditions techniques. So if you want to look over this, do subscribe to the channel. Please leave me comments. It really does help, guys. It's very, very important to me. Those of you who are not sure, you just do this. You just have to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. Ding! I'm going to do my own sound effects, you see. I'm getting good at this. Well done, Nick. Very good. Okay, so the other thing I want to do as well is just to suggest to you that when you start layering these things in, your confidence will increase. And those of you who were at the last training will understand what we're talking about, the confidence competence loop. This is a part of you that you already have. Those of you who've learnt to drive will know what this is all about. Someone says, okay, let's learn to drive. You start driving, you go, oh, keys, where do I, gear, pedal, clutch, window, windscreen wipers, right? You've got all that terror going on, okay? You've no idea what's happening. When you do it a few times, the more you get used to it, the confidence increases. Yeah, I can get in the car, I can drive in first gear, I'm okay now. That's okay, just that little bit. And then you get competent at it. And the competence produces the confidence for the next time. Now, well, this is what we're doing. This is why this works so well. What you're doing is you're giving yourself the opportunity within the week. Well done, Indra. Subscribed and hit the bell. Good man. Yo. Okay, and tell your friends, guys. Do tell your friends. It really helps me to, share this stuff. I think this is really important stuff for actors to learn. They don't teach you this anywhere else. You can't get this anywhere else. No one else is doing it, right? It's really unusual, but it makes the difference. It's the difference that makes the difference because you're using your brain because acting is mental. Right? In all forms of the word, yeah? That's what we're doing. So that would be my suggestion. If you've got an audition coming up on the Friday, do it twice a day, 2, 3 times a day. Run through it, looking at it, and then coming from inside. And the other power tip, do it at night when you go to sleep. Give yourself the permission stamp as you go to sleep. Give yourself permission stamp to succeed inside your brain. Just as you're going to sleep, allow yourself to run through the 2 movies that we're talking about. The dissociated movie and the associated movie. I'll have to play the clapping sound just for you. Okay, that's cool. Now, Arlene said, what's she saying here? This looks good. Love this dissociation because easy plans through this amazing comment and everything going perfectly. The next step, exactly. Now, this is the way the brain works. So when whatever you want to do, you can use this in your life. You can use this with, putting your kids to bed easily. You can use this for developing confidence with your, with people in the shops, whatever it is that you want. I don't know. Why would you be nervous about going into Super Value? I don't know. But, that kind of thing, right? Let's say you want to, actually, let's say these days there is this thing of, COVID is still out there. We're not sure. But a lot of us are feeling out that kind of, If you condition your brain to being more successful and handling things better in everything that you do and give yourself that visualization as you go to bed, you will wake up and your brain will wake up in the morning already geared up for helping you to succeed at whatever you wish to do. So guys, any questions about that? Any other questions there? Anything coming through that you're not sure about? Anything you want me to recap? So just to recap very quickly, there's the permission. Ah, great. Thank you, honey. Lovely. Lovely. Feels so good. Yeah, it does. It does feel good. Yeah. That's the other thing. It feels good. Because when you're generating positive feelings about yourself doing well in an audition, your brain feels successful. You feel more confident. You feel more able. And then we step into the loop again and off it goes. And this loop just keeps moving forward and forward. And it's exactly the kind of skills you want to be learning between now and when you literally go back into the new world. It's going to be wonderful if you give yourself this permission to do this. That's the permission stamp. permission to succeed. Yeah? I give myself permission to shine. I give myself permission to be great. I give myself permission to be abandoned. Right? The second one we talked about was the power positions. Again, do look at the TED Talks. There's a great couple of TED Talks on that, about that. Very useful resource, TED Talks. Good stuff in there. Siobhan, absolutely. The association, dissociation part, we'll cover that. You'll be able to look at the review. You'll be able to review this again. Essentially, there are two ways of doing it. You run through the movie of your mind. The first one, you see it on the screen of your mind. It's as if you're in a movie house and you're looking at a great big screen, like an IMAX screen, a three-dimensional IMAX screen. That's the way we talk about it in Total Audition Magician, okay? Okay, you see this huge screen. You see yourself going in there. It's going great. Three-dimensional, with music, with sound, with pictures, the whole thing. It's all fabulous and fantastic and marvelous and wonderful. You see yourself going all the way through, going through the auditions, going great, coming out and letting it go. The second one, you run the second movie. This one is from the associated point of view. This is where you step into the association. You are now looking out. It's as if you're the projector. Right? You know, we've talked about how the brain is a projector. You are the projector. And because you're running through this, you're projecting from inside of yourself. You're looking out onto the world. But this time, you're feeling it as if you're looking through your own eyes and you're seeing the entire thing. And it's all going great and confident and happy and wonderful and well. And when you do that, you create expectancy. You create expectancy of success, expectancy of a successful outcome. Okay? And that kicks in the confidence competence loop. It's really simple, but you've got to do it. Because practice makes progress. You really want to do it? That's what you want to do. Do this stuff. Check it out. Those of you who are members of Total Audition Magician will already know this. Those of you who are not, I invite you to come along and do it. I'm still keeping the COVID. It's €27, which is pretty good, isn't it? It's a 5-week training in this kind of stuff, right? And what you'll do is you'll understand this more and more. It's $27 as you go through that. And when COVID is over, it's going back to 147. Right? So it's, I don't know about you, I'd go for it. And it will help you to train your brain to get back to where you want it to be. Okay? So do take advantage of that if you can, if you'd like to. So that's that. Okay, guys. So that's what all I've got for you today. And I want to do on Wednesday. I'm going to move now. We've done that's 9 sort of major tips about doing auditions. Do tell your friends. Bring your friends along next time. I'd love to see other people. It's great. And what I'm going to be segueing into is self-taping. So we're going to do a lot about self-taping coming up on Wednesday. So that could be fun. So do come along and see you Wednesday. And any questions, do let me know. And you can always write to me at peakactors@me.com. Any of you who haven't had the free half-hour calls, come along and have one. They're great fun. Hani had one. You had one, Hani. Would you say it was fun? Was it useful? Who's Arlene? Why don't you come and have one? Indra, come and have one. Who else is there? Who haven't? Sean's had one. Brian's had. I know Brian has. So come along, do one. Come onto the site, nickdunning.com. That's over here, and sign up for a free 30-minute call. All right, guys. Fabulous to see you. See you Wednesday. Thank you very much. God bless. Take care. Look after yourselves and wash your hands. I wonder if we'll be saying this forever. Yeah, just wash your hands. Bye, guys.